Now, what do I mean? There are some people, my people, that have defiled the earth so bad that they have actually grown vegetables that are really not true vegetables. Now, this broadcast is truly going to blow your mind if you never heard of what I'm going to be teaching tonight. Because various places and people that have did this through these years are going to be exposed. And it's very important that you know what you're eating and bring it home from the grocery stores. When you go to the restaurants, what you're eating. Because a lot of our people don't know. And the Almighty got laws and statutes and commandments and judgments and precepts and testimonies and ordinances and covenants concerning the things that we're to eat and not to eat. So, the Almighty is telling us that they have changed the ordinances. Even the earth, my people, have ordinances. Now, I'm going to show you what I mean. First, let's go to the book of Genesis, the first chapter. Let's go to Genesis chapter 1. And when the Almighty made the heavens, the earth, the sea, and everything in it, let's see what he said. Starting at the 11th verse of Genesis 1. It says, and Elohim said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after its kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after its kind, and the tree yielding fruit whose seed was in itself. Keep that in mind. After its kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. That means it was perfect. And the evening and the morning were the third day. So in other words, Yahweh is telling us what he did in the third day. Now let's look at this. Let's analyze it. The scriptures say wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get ye wisdom. But with all thy getting, get understanding. Now, you notice he said in the 11th verse, the earth bring forth grass. Let the earth bring forth grass, and the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after its kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth, and it was so. The seed was in itself. Keep that in mind. So in other words, the Almighty planted things when he made the earth, that the seed was in itself, therefore you could keep growing it year after year after year, and century after century after century. But guess what the heathens have done? They have changed it. They have tried to break the ordinances, and the Almighty told us that they would think to change times and laws. And the Almighty has a law of the earth he made and created. But check this out. Why do you think there's seedless grapes, seedless watermelons, seedless, you name it, things that have no seed in itself? And a lot of people don't want to eat things that have seeds in it because now they feel it's inconvenient. So they just rather just get it seedless. Well, guess what? You have just picked up something quite unnatural. Something quite against the commandments and laws of the earth that Yahweh put in the earth. Just for convenience sake, you say, I'm going to get me some seedless grapes, seedless watermelons, seedless apples. You understand? Therefore, that's why it's important that we see what the Almighty did. And this don't only means you breaking the laws by eating things the Creator said naturally. It's not natural. Don't you know, my people, you put your health in jeopardy. A lot of people say, I wonder why I have all these allergies when I eat certain things. I eat wheat and and it makes me, my breathing bad, or the wheat makes me break out, peanuts make my son break out, even some cashews make me itch, and I've heard all kinds of things. But my people, now, just by understanding the foods that we're eating in the earth, we find that some of these foods are defiled. Now, have you ever heard of hybrid foods? Hybrid. Hybrid foods. Have you ever heard of foods that has GMOs in it? Sometimes you can buy stuff in the store and it says no GMOs or non-GMO, genetically modified organisms. What do all this mean? My people, you need, and anyone else that hears this tonight, you need to get yourself in a more informative position, because these things are causing diseases because they are unnatural. Not just seedless grapes and watermelons and things like that, but we're talking about something that was planted with two different seeds in the same hole, and it springs up to bring up something just because somebody wanted to make more money. Somebody wanted to make it more repellent against pestilence and insects. Somebody wanted to be so greedy that they didn't care about the health of the people who would eat it. That they didn't even care about the farmers who could grow the fruits and vegetables with seeds in it. Matter of fact, they've even developed laws that if the farmers are caught trying to keep the original seeds, they will be in a lot of trouble. That's how bad it is. Now, let's look at the definition of hybrid. And I have an old dictionary here that's going to give us a definition of a hybrid food or animal, because not only are they crossbreeding fruits and vegetables, my people, they crossbreeding animals. Some of your cows, do you understand? Some of your birds of today are not truly the original bird is supposed to be named after, because of all the crossbreeding, all the hybrid experiments, all the genetically modified organisms that dwell on the earth and that have been put into fruits, vegetables, and animals. Now, the earth is truly defiled under the inhabitants thereof. For instance, the word hybrid. Let me read this definition. And then we're going to get into actual vegetables and fruits that are considered hybrid. This is what it says. Hybrid, the offspring of two animals or plants of different races, species, and varieties. So in other words, it says bred from two different species or varieties. The offspring of two animals or two plants of different races, species, and varieties. This is heavy. See, the Creator speaks against this in His laws. Did you know that? And I got to show you. I got to show you that Yahweh said, don't you eat nothing hybrid, nor do you eat an animal or a fruit or a vegetable that is a hybrid. They don't use the word hybrid, but this is what it is. Let's read in the law. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 19. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 19. Yahweh warned us of this great abomination. He warned us in verse 19. Here's what the Creator said. Leviticus 19, verse 19. You shall keep my statutes. Thou shalt not let thy cattle gender with a diverse kind. That means don't let your cattle gender or breed with a diverse, different kind of another animal. Thou shalt not sow thy field with mingled seed. So in other words, we were not, when we dug a hole to plant our gardens, to plant our trees, made no difference. You were never to put two different types of seeds in the same hole. That's what, like you have what is called now tangelos, a mixture of two different types of fruits. This is an abomination. The Creator said, thou shalt not sow. That means you're not to plant your field with mingled seeds. Neither shall a garment mingle of linen and woolen come upon thee. So in other words, he didn't even want us to mingle garments. And I don't wear them. I haven't worn them. My wife, people that know the laws, we don't wear garments made of two different materials, such as polyester and silk, or silk and cotton. Do you understand? Yahweh said, this is against his laws. He said, thou shalt not do this. Well, guess what? The heathen find a way to get it done. Because he's a heathen. I'm not surprised. He's not fearing the Most High. So I'm not surprised. And neither should you be. But you got to understand, this is what most of our people are eating. This is what most of the world is eating. You're eating defiled food. You're eating two different kinds of animals that was bred together, and now they made some different type of animal. I'm going to go further. I want to go into the law. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 22. Again, the Almighty spells out even more of what he means by his laws in chapter 22 of Deuteronomy. And I'm going to start reading at the 9th verse. And you're going to see some of these same laws reiterated in a different way. It says, thou shalt not sow thy vineyard with diverse seeds. That means you're not to plant again your vineyards with different seeds. Least, here's the thing, least the fruit of your seed which you have sown and the fruit of your vineyard be defiled. And that's heavy. He said it's going to be defiled. It's going to be defiled. It's going to be polluted. It's really going to be unfit. Do you understand? Thou shalt not plow with an ox and an ass together. So you're not to plow with an ox and an ass together. You're not to let these two different beasts work together, because they may try to breed with one another and make this beast that is something mixed up and messed up. Don't you know, my people, that if this would have happened and we were bringing our crops to the Almighty for holy offerings to Him, when we were bringing our offerings, which we're going to return to, that's right, because we are going to return the offerings. Christ ain't done away with no offerings or sacrifices. Sacrifices is going to continue later on when Yahweh brings us back home to Jerusalem. Just read Ezekiel chapter 20. Just read Isaiah the 56th chapter. It's all through the book, where Yahweh said that once again that we were going to be bringing Him sacrifices and offerings. Oh yes. But right here, our offerings would have been defiled. They would have been refused, because they would have been defiled if we would have planted two different seeds in the same hole. The offspring brings out something that is polluted, that is defiled. And And did you know, my people, there's plenty of defiled food out there. I want to go further. I want to show you the prophecy the Almighty furthermore gave us concerning this great abomination. That, let me tell you this, my people. Don't take this lightly, what I'm talking about now. This results into you getting cancer, heart disease, stroke, diabetes, kidney failure. You want to know why you have allergies and you're allergic to various things. You want to know why your immune system breaks down. You want to know why every time you look around, you get a recommendation that you need to detox. You want to know why you feel so weak and bad. My people, the earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. And some of you all, you're vegetarians. Some of you all that listen to this, and you know some vegans, some vegetarians. And guess what? They are eating defiled food too. So you should be informed. And I'm going to give you some of the list of the various things that is defiled. That is a hybrid. That is a GMO, genetically modified organism. Because it's very important that you know what you're eating. And it's against the laws of Yahweh. In the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter, Yahweh prophesied furthermore what this kingdom that we're in today would do. And here it is. Daniel chapter 7, starting at the 24th verse. Or may I say I'll start at the 23rd verse. This is what it says. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. And let me tell you, my people, this is speaking of the Roman Empire. Most of your Bibles even tell you this. The great Roman Empire. But what we're in today is called the broken remnant. The little piece that left over of the Roman Empire and what it stood for. It was different and diverse in that its whole base was based on religion. Why do you think Africa was conquered? Why do you think that, my people? Because missionaries were sent to preach the so-called gospel of Christ. And do you know that many people were murdered as a result of it? Just as some of the people are doing with the religion of the Muslims and Islam. People are dying at the hands of people who are forcing them to become Muslims and Christians. This still go on today. So that's why it's so vital, important that you know what's going on in the earth. Especially my people, whom I love dearly, the so-called African Americans, all black descendants of slaves, my people, Yahweh's people. Yah said in the 25th verse, check this out. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think now, to change times and laws, and it shall be given into his hand for time and a dividing of times. Why do you think you go to church on Sunday? Because now they made you think that Yah's laws have changed. That no longer is the Sabbath the seventh day, but now it's the first day of the week. Because the S-A-T-U-R-D-A-Y, that's the Sabbath of Yahweh. Only the daytime period, not the F-R-I night or evening going into the morning. That's not Sabbath. The Sabbath begins in the morning, like every other day. Remember, he said, Exodus 26, days shall you labor and do all your work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of Yahweh. And in Genesis 1, Yahweh said he called the light day and the darkness he called night. And I'm willing to debate any minister whatsoever that think that a day start in the evening, that thinks that a day start at night, whether it's 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, p.m. I'm willing to debate any minister whatsoever. All you need to do is call this number, 770-603-6018. 770-603-6018. I'm willing to challenge and debate any minister that believes that a day starts in the evening time or at night. By scripture, I want you to be able to prove it, but let's prove it amongst the people so they can see the differences in the words of Yahweh compared to your opinions or your philosophy. So you might be listening and you got a preacher, and you might be challenged and saying, well, I know my minister, he told us Sabbath begins on the FRI evening. So I know he got scriptures to prove it. So you let him know. Give him this number, 770-603-6018. And you tell him to call Brother Elkanah ben Israel at that number. Remember that number now. Daniel chapter 7. Look what furthermore the Creator said would happen in the end. He said in the 26th verse, but the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion to consume and to destroy unto the end. He finna tell you about the day who's going to take away this dominion and wickedness. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. Now, some Bibles, it goes ahead and shows you what it is. It says serve and obey them, because he's speaking of the people of the saints of the Most High. And who are the saints of the Most High? The saints of the Most High are those that fear Yahweh and keep his commandments of his chosen people, Yisrael, which is none other than the so-called African Americans or all black descendants of slaves that were scattered to the four corners of this earth. That doesn't mean any other nationality cannot be one of the commandment keepers of the Almighty. The Almighty said in Isaiah chapter 56, let not the stranger, the foreigner, say, Yahweh has utterly separated me from his people. Yah said, if the stranger or the eunuch keep my covenants, keep my commandments, he said he's going to have a place for you in his house of prayer. Because his place in Jerusalem, his holy mountain Zion, is going to be called a house of prayer for all people. So, after the Almighty has judged the nations, then you can rest assured that if you've been keeping the commandments, you haven't been oppressing Yahweh's people. You have not said that you're going to regard another false god, but you're going to serve Yahweh. That you're going to drop all the religions and throw them in the garbage can where they belong and literally serve Yahweh and acknowledge who his people is. And guess what? You're on the right track. But in the meantime, look what the Almighty is showing us right here. Yahweh is letting us know that this beast, the fourth beast, the fourth kingdom on earth, would be diverse from all the kingdoms. And he said they would devour the whole earth. And I'm going to tell you something. There's two men who has helped one of the diabolical abominations to flourish. There's a man named Monsantos. Write that name down. Monsantos. Monsantos. Write this man's name down. Gregor Mendel. Grecor. Last name Mendel. Look those names up. Gregor Mendel and Monsantos. These men have been the forefathers of genetically modified organisms as well as hybrid foods in the earth today. These polluted foods that's in the earth today. Now, what do I mean? I'm going to read you some information. It's very important that you hear this, because a lot of you all don't realize that what this stuff is doing to your health, breaking your immune system down. For instance, hybrid foods will not grow in nature. They are crossbred food which must be nurtured and protected by humans, or else they will be overcome by birds, insects, worms, fungi, and bacteria. Why do you think worms and everything gather over corn? Yeah, corn. C-O-R-N. Your yellow corn. Because guess what? Corn. I don't care if it's corn, potato chips, corn chips. Corn itself is a hybrid vegetable. It's a hybrid. It's man-made. It's not natural. It's man-made. And I want you to do your own research on hybrid foods. And this food is literally killing us. It's literally killing the world. All seedless foods, whether it's seedless grapes, pineapples, citrus fruits, watermelons, persimmons, you name it, if it's seedless, it's hybrid. It's man-made fruits. Now let me go further to let you know what hybrid foods do. Hybrid foods are missing vital electrics. They are unnatural and high both in sugar and starch. So some of you all who are vegetarians or vegans don't realize when you eat corn chips or potato chips, when you're not eating the right potatoes, because the white potato is the hybrid. It's the culprit. But purple potatoes, sweet potatoes, and red potatoes, they're good. But the white potatoes, like in most of your fast food restaurants, like in most of your regular restaurants, like in most of your stores, when you buy your French fries, it's made of white potatoes. Well, guess what? These are hybrid. They're unnatural, high in sugar and starch. Now, what is the result of this? They are devoid of proper mineral balance that all wild food contains. So when we eat a lot of hybrid fruits and vegetables, that leads to mineral deficiencies. They cause the body to bring heavy minerals from the bones into the blood to the buffer the sugar, excuse me. This hybrid sugar is not completely recognized by the liver and pancreas. And by the way, my people, in most every case of diabetes, which most of our people have, which a whole lot of people have, did you know that the root result of most diabetics is a bad pancreas? Well, now I see why the great in number of diabetics it is today, even in children. And I remember when I was growing up, and this disease which developed in our community, because it gradually developed. Because at one time, when I was real young, I didn't hear about too many of diabetics. And then as I got a little older, next thing I know, so many of my relatives, so many of my brothers and sisters that I heard began to develop cancer. When I was younger, cancer was almost void in the black community. Then became sickle cell anemia. Then the influx of cancer began to grow. But a lot of it, my people, a lot of this stemmed from not eating the right vegetables. A good vegan diet. When they began to make the fast food restaurants, when they began to make to where every time you look around you eating animal meat over and over every day, that's when the cancer rate grew higher. That's when the disease rate grew higher and higher. That's when diabetics became higher, higher, higher. But now, we're even finding a different type of culprit altogether. Some of these vegetables that we thought were vegetables are just man-made. Now, in the time we got left, let's see what the Almighty is showing us in this information. It says the minerals and sugar are then spilled off into the urine. Hybrid sweet fruit and sweet starchy vegetables can overstimulate you and cause you to lose minerals. If you want to know why, when some of you all go on a lemonade diet, you want to know why it's easy for you to lose weight? Because guess what? Lemons are hybrids. They are very unnatural fruits. They are hybrid. Sorry to tell you. That's why you lose the weight so much. But you don't only lose your weight. Most people that I know that go on them lemonade diets, they wind up being slimmer, but they wind up being weak and a little bit more dried up. And I know why now. Because you're losing your minerals. That's what lemonade do. The lemons, they push your minerals out. So you begin to have a mineral deficiency and you wonder, well, wait a minute, I'm losing weight, I'm trying to eat right, but I don't feel good. My energy level is down. Because you're pushing all your minerals out. That good old lemonade that we've been growing up for years. Hybrid foods are taken out of their natural content. Now you gotta hear this. They're taken out of their natural content and will not assimilate in the body completely. And instead, they store as a toxin. They will also damage the mucous membranes. Now, let's break up this medical terminology here. What does this mean when it won't assimilate? That means it will not absorb in the blood properly. Therefore, you lose minerals. It damages your mucous membranes. So, what is all this saying? All this saying is, this stuff takes your body out of the natural state because it's unnatural. You want to know why now your body is more acceptable to diseases? It's because you have lost the minerals that was protecting you, that was working on your behalf. You done flushed it out. And many of it, because these foods and fruits are void of minerals, they deplete you, making you easily susceptible to cancer, stroke, heart disease, diabetes, kidney failure. Let me name some of them. Now, I already named some of the seedless, anything seedless, like watermelons and any of your fruits. Don't you know, that's a hybrid. Stay away from it. Start using wisdom. Start doing the laws, the natural laws of Yahweh, and doing by eating stuff with seeds in it. Beets is a hybrid. Carrots is a hybrid. I mentioned corn and potatoes, hybrid. Celery, celery. It's a hybrid vegetable. Cauliflower is a hybrid vegetable. Cranberries. Now, out of all the berries, blueberry, grapes, All the berries, they're all good as long as they got a seed in it. But guess what? The hybrid abomination that's sold in this nation and across the nation is cranberries. Cranberries is a man-made berry. Why do you think they push cranberries? Cranberry juice. Cranberries, which you celebrate your so-called Thanksgiving with turkey and dressing and cranberry sauce. Cranberries is unnatural. White rice, hybrid. Peanuts, peanuts, hybrid. Cashews, hybrid. Wheat, good old wheat. Wheat bread, it's all hybrid. That's why you have allergies. That's why on some labels, you notice, it'll say, contains wheat. Because they warn you. But they're not going to tell you what I'm telling you. They're warning you that it is a hybrid. Because it's unnatural. You wonder why on certain labels it says, may contain traces of peanuts and cashews and soy. And let me tell you about that soy. S-O-Y. Some of you all drinking the good old soy milk. Well, especially you brothers, you men. Soy feminizes a man because it's high in estrogen. It raises the estrogen level very high in the body. Puts it out of socket. This stuff literally changes the DNA in our bodies. Makes it where you're not the same no more. So you just got to, the only way you're going to get rid of it is you're going to have to stop eating it and get rid of it. That's the only way. You can't just, or may I say, you can gradually, through the process of time, gradually wean yourself off. But if you don't completely wean yourself off, you're setting yourself up for various diseases. This stuff is deadly. It won't assimilate. It won't absorb. Don't you know? My people, you can put margarine, which is a hybrid. Margarine is just plastic. That's right, margarine. Some of you all eat it. You can put it outside. Put some margarine outside and see if a bird or a worm, see what any natural animal try to eat it. Guarantee you, they ain't gonna touch it. It's unnatural. Soy is unnatural. It's a hybrid. Wheatgrass is a hybrid. Oats, like your oats, cornflakes, oat cereal, OATS, hybrid. And you don't have to believe me, look it up for yourself. Collard greens. And I always wondered why collard greens, they stink before you get them in the house, and they certainly stink up the house while it's cooking. Because they're hybrid. A lot of these so-called vegetables, they've spliced it by adding man's feces in it. Yeah, feces, doo-doo. And you want to know why some of these vegetables stink like they do when you cook them or even before you cook them. Because they are hybrid. A lot of them are genetically modified. A lot of them have been crossbred with a gene. They even put animal genes in vegetables and vice versa. When Yah said the earth is defiled, he wasn't lying, because he's not a man that he should lie, nor the son of man that he should repent. If he said it, shall he not do it? If he spoke it, shall he not make it good? He gonna make it good. And he did. White sugar, oh my goodness. White sugar is the biggest cancer-causing hybrid crystal enemy to the body, one of the worst ever made. White sugar. Even brown sugar, it's just white sugar painted brown. If you're going to take sugar. If you want something sweet, get you some agave. That's a natural sweetener. Agave. Get you some sugar in the raw. Some real sugar cane. Pure from sugar cane. Not crystal white sugar that's just dyed brown sugar. That's why we're dying. We've been misinformed. Garlic. Oh my goodness. Garlic is one of the most ancient hybrid vegetables in the world. Garlic. Look it up for yourself. Shallots are good. Yeah, S-H-A-L-L-O-T. It is shallots and onions. They're good. But garlic, that's why they push garlic in everything. Garlic is in almost all your sauces, your barbecues, your bread, your potato chips, you name it, garlic is in it. And you want to know why so many diseases in this world? There's also most of your beans. Most of them are hybrid. Black rice is good. That's right, black rice. A lot of your herbs are no good. And I'm going to name some things that you can eat in the little time we got left. These are good. Avocados is good. Spinach is good. Asparagus, bell peppers, cabbages, zucchini. And I praise Yahweh that my wife makes a great zucchini burger. And it's good as well as something sweet that we eat as well. We find cucumbers, dandelion greens. These are good. Garbanzo beans, they're good. Kale is a natural vegetable. It's good. All lettuce is good. Red leaf, green leaf, except one. Iceberg. That's why iceberg lettuce is in most of your restaurants, especially the fast foods. Stay away from it. Mustard greens is good. Okra is good. Olives, onions, poke salad, squash is good. String beans. The only tomatoes, hear me good, the only tomatoes that are not hybrid is the little bitty cherry plum grape little tomatoes. All your others, all those big round slug tomatoes that y'all love to eat, juicy, bite into, or cut them and put them in your sandwich with your ham and bacon, it's already an abomination. When you slice that big red tomato, you're just slicing some hybrid, something that's about to break your immune system down and take your minerals away. Moringa is one of the best herbs that you could get. I'm trying to call some of these out. Turnip greens is good. Now let me say this. Figs and dates, they're good. Mango is good. But your regular oranges in the store, they're all hybrid. All of them. If they're not what is called Seville, S-E-V-I-L-L-E oranges, put them back. Papayas is good. Peaches is good. Pears and prunes and raisins is good if it's got seeds in it. And believe you me, you're going to have a time finding raisins with seeds in it. Let me go further. And I want y'all to prove what I'm saying. And I got a whole list. I can see we're probably going to have a part 2 to this, because I want you all to know the facts of these things. Remember, I said cashews and peanuts, they're hybrids. But guess what? Almonds is good. You can drink almond milk. It's good. You can get raw Tahiti butter. Walnuts, hazelnuts, they're all good for you. Black rice, spelt, rye, teff. These important, my people, that you be informed. It's so important that you know what's going on. Even Ezekiel chapter 4, Ezekiel said something that we need to know. Ezekiel said, I never defiled myself. And I got to show you real quick. Ezekiel chapter 4. Ezekiel chapter 4. And we only have a few seconds left. This is what Ezekiel said when Yahweh told him to eat this defiled bread, to show my people what was going to happen to them when they went into captivity. Ezekiel said in the 14th verse, "Oh Yahweh, behold, my soul has not been polluted, even from my youth on up until now. Have I not eaten that which died of itself, or torn a beast in pieces? Neither came there abominable meat and flesh in my mouth." And then Yahweh said, "I have given thee cow's dung for meat." So in other words, the Almighty told him, I want you to stir all this good stuff up and put some man's doo-doo in it. And next thing you know, Yah said this stuff is going to be equivalent to what our people is going to be eating in the land of the Gentiles. That's why Yah's word don't return void. If you have any questions, I want you to call right now, 770-603-6018. You can call us right now. We're awake. 770-603-6018. If you like our book, The World's Best Kept Secret, if you'd like to attend our Bible class, you call that number, 770-603-6018. On behalf of the entire House of Israel of Atlanta, Yahweh loves you and so do we. Shalom. Stay strong.
You gotta be